Gene. We finished 4th and 5th here. We fucking look like rock stars, huh? And now we are a fucking bunch of wankers. Yeah, bunch of fucking clowns here. I will do a proper investigation, Gene. Don't worry, you know that. I will fix it. Trust me.
Well, Gene didn't let Gunther fix it. He's been given the boot, and the reins at Haas have been handed to me, and it's time to make Haas look like a bunch of heroes. Hello folks, welcome to episode number 1 of our journey with Haas. Working title at the moment, Haas Needs a Hero, but we're going to be using a very special rule that's going to define the way this save plays out. And you can already see that we don't have a second driver, and I'll get to that in a minute. But welcome along, and this is the start of a new adventure here on the channel. We're taking over at Haas. Gunther Steiner's out a year early, and we're going to be setting off trying to make Haas into potentially a race-winning, championship-winning outfit. Let's see how we get on with that. Now, Haas have the worst facilities on the grid. So everything except the design centre is ranked 1, although I could probably go back and remove that, but we'll leave it as it is. They have the worst facilities to start with anyway, so I felt no need in making it any more difficult for myself. And we are going to be trying to progress the team forwards from having the worst facilities to hopefully having some of the best facilities, but we're also going to be using only drivers who have won GP2 or Formula 2, which is why, if I go to drivers, we don't have Kevin Magnussen. He's no longer with the team, and Pietro Fittipaldi, as much as he's probably a really nice guy, doesn't fit the bill with the team anymore. Nico Hülkenberg, though, 2009 GP2 champion, he gets to stick around. I've also boosted his stats a wee bit to be a little bit of a better reflection on him, because in the game he's not particularly good up against Magnussen, whereas in reality he thoroughly outperformed him. So Hulk stays, K-Mag is gone, and that leaves us with a bit of driver shopping to do. And there's several drivers actually that are available to us already, which is really helpful. One of whom is 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. Nico Hülkenberg, of course. Ferraris, Charles Leclerc. Mercedes, George Russell. He won the Formula 2 championship in 2018. We've also got options on Nick De Vries or Mick Schumacher, who were F2 champs in 2019 and 2020. Oscar Piastri, Felipe Drugovich are also options, and I'm including Théo Pourchaire because I'm recording this in 2024, so he is a Formula 2 champion, even though I'm starting the game in 2023. So there's a bit of a technicality there. And then anybody who goes on to become an F2 champion within the game, we can sign as well. So probably not Brad Benavides, bless him. Maybe Oliver Behrman, maybe Isaac Hadjar, possibly Zane Maloney, who won the opening two races of the 2024 Formula 2 season. So, without further ado, let's go driver shopping. And my first port of call is going to be, if I can do it by overall rating, there's Kevin Magnussen. Romain Grosjean I have activated, but then that's clearly not Romain Grosjean, so we probably won't use him. Mick Schumacher is actually the highest rated available driver to us. He's the same rating as Nick De Vries, but do we really want Mick Schumacher back at Haas? Probably not. We could sign Théo Pourchaire, but he's only 19. His stats aren't particularly great in this game. That being said, we are going to try and sign Felipe Drugovich, the 2022 Formula 2 champion. So let's propose a contract to the Brazilian as Car 1. There we go. Let's start with maybe 1 season. Okay, $5 million salary. Let's give him a signing bonus of 100k. Oh, we almost stopped dead on there. And a race bonus. If you finish 10th, you will get 25 grand. How's that, Felipe? Let's see. He's accepted it. We've got him for 1 season, so obviously if he doesn't perform, then we'll let him go. But we'll keep our options open. We'd like to keep Felipe moving forward in the future. So that's going to cost us 600 grand to sign Felipe Drugovich, and look at him in his lovely Haas overalls. And by the way, we've got the 2024 livery on the car, so it's almost fully up to date. We do also need to sign a reserve driver. We could sign Stoffel van Dorn, who's a GP2 champion of 2016. We could sign Nick de Vries. Would he want a reserve? He won't want a reserve seat because we've moved him out of Alpha Tauri. Could sign Pourchaire as our reserve. In fact, I'm gonna sign Van Dorn because basically, if we bin him off, it doesn't really matter. He's just there to fill the spot essentially. Let's see. I'm gonna offer him a $2.5 million salary, 1 season as our reserve. He's accepted it. That'll do. So we've got drivers to move forwards now. Stoffel the Waffle can come in if he needs to. Ironically, our reserve driver has a higher rating than our main driver, but that's fine. So, first day at Haas. We're doing quite well. We're spending some money. We're welcoming Felipe Drugovich. And we're also welcoming Stoffel van Dorn. So, let's also get some car updates on the go. We are 9th best for low speed and medium speed. We need to improve our high speed. What I'm thinking is we maybe develop a stock part on with loads of high speed, and then we sort of boost it later on. So here we go. We've got 4 design slots open. Let's do what's our top speed like? Our top speed is not very good actually, so we could probably do with a new chassis. We've got loads of CFD time to use. That's really useful. So we should be able to make a lot of progress. Let's throw some of this at a new chassis. Drag reduction. We need to improve our ability in the chassis. So let's design that. We'll go rushed. That'll do. And then we'll also have a new underfloor, which I'm not going to put any of the research time into. But here we go. We're just going to specialize it in high speed. Nice big boost to high speed. So we're +8 on our underfloor for high speed. We'll have another. We'll just go normal on this because I don't want to spend too much money. We've only got $11.5 million left. Let's do a couple of bits aerodynamically. We'll split the bill with the front wing and rear wing. We'll go high speed for the front wing because we need to boost that. But we'll also go low speed for now. Airflow sensitivity, airflow front. There we go. Lovely stuff. And then you take the weight out and you get lots of blue numbers, which is what we like. Oh, that'll do. Yeah. Just put 2 engineers on designing the front wing, and then we'll do the same with the rear wing, and then we can head to the Bahrain Grand Prix, because that's what you're all here for, isn't it? You're not here to see me fiddle around with these parameters. High speed, airflow sensitivity, remove the weight, lots of blue numbers, happy days. And yeah, so we boost our high speed and our air tolerance. The car is now much lighter than it was before. Better DRS effectiveness, which will help us get through the field. And that, I think, is a good way to start. Chassis, underfloor, front wing and rear wing, all in development. So it's time to hit the track. I'll see you in qualifying. We'll probably check in with Q2, maybe, because I'm not sure Hulkenberg. Well, we're not a certainty to get to Q3 like we were with Mercedes, so we'll probably check in at Q2, and I'll see you there. Are you joining me in Q2, where we're about to set off for our final efforts, but our cars are absolutely together because we had to get out of the way of some traffic. Hulkenberg, don't fight your teammate. So hopefully that cures that problem, and now we can concentrate on setting personal best lap times, but we are not, because we're getting in each other's way. We are currently 12th and 15th, having been 8th and 11th, I think, in Q1. Let's see what our middle sectors are like then. We've got to beat Gasly. We've got to find half a tenth to beat Gasly. Personal best for Drugovich in the middle sector. Final sector time coming up then. We're going to cross the line together. And it's 12th and 15th for Haas. We're not into Q3. That didn't work out well. I followed Stroll out of the pit lane. And then because we had to move out of the way of someone on a fast lap, we ended up in this situation. So annoyingly, we're not in Q3, but we do have extra sets of fresh soft tyres to use in the race. We're ready for a new adventure to get underway then. We're all set with our strategies. Felipe Drugovich from 15th on the grid, going soft, medium, soft with his tyres. Nico Hülkenberg going soft, soft, medium from P12. I've not underfueled because I want to push and I want to make up positions in the early laps. I'm hoping that Drugovich will be fast at the end. We can always switch Hülkenberg to a similar strategy as the Brazilian, but let's see what happens. Let's do a motor race. Okay, here we go. Haas are under new management. Will they have better fortunes as the lights are out and the race is on? Hülkenberg going from P12, and is that a Williams getting ahead of us immediately? I think it is. In fact, Albon was already ahead. Ricciardo's on the outside of Hülkenberg as we come to the car park that is turn 1 in Bahrain. We have lost a position because that's how it plays out in F1 Manager. Well, no, we've actually retained the position somehow. Ricciardo has fallen behind. So that'll do. We're going to be locked, I think, in battle with the AlphaTauris. And we're going to be hoping that something happens to someone ahead of us, chiefly Gasly or Ocon, and we can pounce on some misfortune for them. But we're not going to be troubling the top 8 anytime soon unless there's pure chaos. We've got our first overtake as team manager at Haas. Nico Hülkenberg blasting past Esteban Ocon round the outside of turn 11 here, making it stick. Nice work from the German on his return to the sport. Felipe Drugovich has closed the gap to Daniel Ricciardo. Here is the Brazilian. In fact, having a look down the inside, Hülkenberg is on the back of Albon. This is a live overtake, and there it goes. Nico Hülkenberg into P10 momentarily. We're squabbling with Albon, forcing him onto the curb and making the move stick. Lovely stuff, Hulk. That's how we look like a bunch of rock stars at Haas F1 team. Felipe Drugovich has made his first overtake as an F1 driver, and he's passed a multiple Grand Prix winner in Daniel Ricciardo. DRS, of course, but most overtakes in Formula 1 are using DRS. But solid from the Brazilian. That moves him up to P14. There he is. He's getting in between the AlphaTauris and doing a very good job, I must say. Very happy with how his first 9 laps of action for us have gone. Hülkenberg's leading the team nicely, up in P10, picking up a very important point as it stands. But there's still an awful long way to go in this race, and that was an Alpine much too close to our rear end, which I'm not a fan of. Less of that, please, Ocon. Another Drugovich overtake. Here he is sending it down the inside of Yuki Tsunoda's AlphaTauri. And that's a lovely move indeed from the Brazilian, who has got the generic Haas helmet, unfortunately. Hülkenberg is trying to make an overtake on Gasly. Now, on Gasly, while I was fast forwarding, I did realise that I omitted him as a GP2 champion. So we can sign Pierre Gasly, should we wish. If Hülkenberg is getting a bit old by the end of this season, maybe we go for Gasly and pair him with Drugovich. Or maybe we sign Porsche. There are lots of options available to us. We can have 2 young hotshots, or we could have a little bit more experience. If we wanted to, we could sign Leclerc and Hamilton and have a megastar team. Although I'm not sure that's in Gene Haas's budget. Further progress being made for Felipe Drugovich. He's up into the top 12 in the Bahrain Grand Prix. Zooming down the outside of Alex Albon. They're all the 3 drivers he has overtaken so far in this race. He's doing an excellent job. We're approaching the pit stops at the moment. Hülkenberg is actually on the tail of Russell. Gasly has got ahead of the Mercedes driver. And of course, we know just how bad the Mercedes is at the start of a save in this game. And we might be able to pinch a position from a Mercedes of all things in this race. Wouldn't that be a turn up for the books? Felipe Drugovich heading to the pit lane for his first pit stop in Formula One. It's a long way down to the Haas garage. There are the crew putting on a set of medium tyres. 2.9 second stop, that'll do. Albon doesn't get the jump on us, so that's good news. Hulkenberg is still hanging out with George Russell, so we'll keep extending his stint, and then he can push on the softs a bit harder. Maybe even we'll put mediums on, and then they can run a little bit deeper into the race as well. I think I will do that. Put the mediums on because we're actually going past a Mercedes. We've just passed George Russell's Mercedes. Please don't take us out, George. We've had tremendous success with you with that Mercedes, and we have passed a Mercedes. Okay, it's not a very good Mercedes as George goes to the pit lane. Lap 24 and the pit stops have finally all shaken out. Esteban Ocon was the last man into the pit lane off of his starting soft tyres. Hulkenberg is back into P10. He's now 7 seconds behind George Russell, who's on a set of softs. He's going very nicely, pulling away from us, but we'll have some pace at the end of this race. And honestly, our fight isn't with Mercedes. I know I was getting excited and hyping it up that we were ahead of a Merc. Our race isn't with them. Hulkenberg needs to be looking behind him because Albon is probably the threat, and also Ocon. But Felipe Drugovich in P12 doing a beautifully solid job. Bad news, Felipe Drugovich has slid off the circuit. He's had a lock-up. Everything was going very well. He was challenging Alex Albon, but this mistake into turn 8, I think it is, and into the darkness he goes. Weirdly, no lights in that part of the circuit. Only the bit that's lit up you can race on. It's not done his tyre wear any good, that's for sure. So we'll just settle down with Felipe, and then he will come in probably a little bit earlier now. More drama for Felipe Drugovich. He's had a spin at the final corner and now falls to P16. It was going so well for Felipe, and then just the weird spin. I think we're going to need to bring him in for some new tyres. He's now got low confidence, so we can't really push with him, which is a shame. But all lessons to be learned for Felipe. The first half of the race, very strong. But what you find with especially drivers of a lower rated ability, once they make one mistake, they tend to make 2-3 mistakes within the race. You see it so often with the likes of Sonoda, who make one mistake, confidence just shatters, and then they're just constantly causing yellow flags. Interestingly, Pierre Gasly, not Felipe Drugovich, jeez, Pierre Gasly has made a mistake at the final corner, which might help us snatch another point. Of course, he was ahead of us on the road. He is currently 11th, having just stopped for a set of mediums. Here comes Hulkenberg's second and final stop. We've got 15 laps remaining. We've actually called him in a lap early. This was supposed to be Drugovich's pit stop lap, but we've already seen him come to the pit lane. We return to the track in 11th, so net loss is only one position. Ocon also still has to box. He's taking those mediums. Surely he's not taking them to the end. But we've got Gasly ahead of us by just 5 seconds. And I'm sure Ocon will either fall through the field because his tyres are ruined, or he'll go into the pit lane. So now we can crack on with Nico. Maybe we can pinch P9 in this race, which would be fantastic. Nico Hulkenberg is now ahead of Pierre Gasly. The Frenchman making that error and also being on medium tyres. He's got no answer, and we move into P9. If we can escape the clutches of Gasly, then we might be able to protect ourselves from the other Alpine. 11 laps to go. Still some work to do. We're not going to catch any of the top 8. So this is the best we can do. This is our race win, essentially. And it's only going to get us 2 points. But they're going to be 2 very important points and that could make all the difference come season end. So the race has been won by Sergio Perez. Felipe Drugovich has finished 16th. Ocon has just locked up at turn 4, but that's not cost him a position. Drugovich actually lost P15 to Bottas because he also had another lockup. Second half of the race, things definitely didn't go the young Brazilian's way, but this is a display of experience and maturity from the returning Nico Hülkenberg as he rounds the final corner to bring Haas 2 points at the opening race of the season. Lovely job. That's how you look like a legend at Haas. Nico Hülkenberg brings us some points ahead of both Alpines, but Drugovich, mistakes aside, happy enough with that. The car wasn't brought back smashed to smithereens as other Haas rookies have done in the past, so a decent enough result for him. Hülkenberg, though, the star of the show for us, picking up P9, moving forward 3 places from his grid spot. Drugovich did make some overtakes, and of course those mistakes really hurt him. In the Constructors, it means we're currently P5, so that's above expectation, which is P6 for us, but actually we've already scored 1/6 of the Haas points in real life in 2023, so I suppose that's a good start. Well, that was a very fruitful opening race with Haas. If you enjoyed it, leave a nice big thumbs up on the video. That's the wrong hand for a thumbs up, isn't it? The angle is not so good here. Anyway, nice big thumbs up on the video. Subscribe for more F1 Manager content. There's a Discord link in the description. I want you to go and click as well. Join the Discord channel, and I'll see you for the next race in Saudi Arabia. You're the best fans. Bye for now.